Hey everybody, this is Coach Neil Melanson. I'm at the Hayabusa Training Academy with my friend Sean, as always, and he's helped me out a lot today. And what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna go over the high elbow. I call it a high elbow. I used to call it a throat crush guillotine, but it didn't catch on. So it's basically, it's a guillotine that you probably see and getting more and more popularized. I actually started doing this a long time ago because I think it was Overeem hit like 7 guillotines in a row in competition, and I was like, what is he doing? And he was raising the elbow. But I started to figure out over time, just like other grapplers, that if the elbow presses down, it kind of forces into the choke. But when I coach different athletes around, they are all doing it very wrong. So I'm gonna try to help you out, and maybe I'll help you out through that process, because it can be a real frustrating choke. All right, so first let's talk about the science of it. I'm gonna stay here. Okay, so if I have like a one-handed guillotine here, and I lock pretty tight, let's say I just hug my chest. If I push his shoulder down, it's gonna make the choke happen. So what you're trying to do is you're not trying to like lift the choke. You're actually trying to compress the shoulder into the choke. But the problem what guys have is that they're too stiff. Guys, they're always trying to force the elbow up. And when you're stiff and you're flexed, there's not a lot of flexibility in your wrist. The real trick to this is being relaxed, like real relaxed, okay? So what I'm trying to do is, I just hook just my fingers. So if I'm gonna go for like a high elbow guillotine, I would just hook just like this, barely touching. And with this, it keeps my arms nice and relaxed so I can get my hand in position. But the other problem is you gotta know where your hand's supposed to be, okay? So everybody's so caught up on the choking hand, the hand that goes around the neck. The reality is with the high elbow, this is not that important. People make it bigger than it should be. On a regular guillotine, I like to use the thumb of my hand, or just a little more on the wrist, but usually the thumb of my hand. For this choke, I don't care where this arm is. It's the support hand that matters. Okay, so if I'm here, all the way deep, or barely in, I don't care. It's this hand has to touch the neck. It's got to line up. My thumb's got to line up with basically his throat. And the reason for that is, even though we have muscular traps here, this bone right here, when it starts to get over to the top of the AC joint and the shoulder, is going to slip off. You want to dig in to this trap muscle. So even if a guy has like big old traps, it's not going to matter. The tissue will compress. But when you're on that bone, it's going to slip off. So when I line this up, I'm lining perfect. So always line that up, the support hand, with the side of the neck, and it will go. Your guide is to try to get your elbow towards the center of the spine. It's very rarely going to happen. Very rarely going to happen. But at least that's where your bullet point is. That's where you're trying to go. So if I'm here and I have his neck, I'm not trying to manhandle it. I just want to stay relaxed. I want to stay relaxed. Okay, I'm gonna do it on this wrist because this wrist's a little hurt. Let's turn. Okay, so when I'm here, I get my choke position. First thing I gotta do is touch his neck. So whether or not I'm here, it doesn't matter. I already talked about this. Okay, I'm gonna grab my hand, but I'm just gonna stay relaxed. It's gonna be like this. It's gonna be soft, okay? And now what I'm gonna do is when I pull his head to the side, I keep it nice, and I stay it nice and relaxed, and then now when it gets over, he's gonna feel my wrist get strong, and the choke happens. So here, nice and relaxed, and then I get my elbow. See how my elbows make an L almost, or right angle? And then my hand gets strong. When that's what's gonna make it work. Relax, and choke. Relax, choke. Okay? Don't try to manhandle it. Your wrist is not going to let you get that elbow high. Nice and relaxed. Choke. Okay? Now, people have proven, especially Marcelo, he popularized it, that if you block that shoulder, it really doesn't matter how your hips land. But that's not your goal. You want to get your hips right. And the rule with the guillotine is, in my opinion, is try to get everything on one half your body. If I have his head here, I want the center of his hips on this half of my body. So if you cut me in half, down my nose, through my groin, and this is one side, this is the other side. Let's say this is 1, this is 2. I want his head, the center of his hips, all on one. That will give me the best quality guillotine I can make. It'll make the best high elbow position, be nice and strong. But it also will work if his hips go to the other side. You just don't want to throw yourself in that neck of the woods if you don't have to, okay? So I'm working, I get his neck, I grab my hand, I'm nice and relaxed. I bring my elbow up, nice and relaxed, and now I squeeze. So now when I go to fall back, some guys jump full guard, I don't care. I like to keep a frame, I like to keep my legs on the outside, but that's just me personally. So when I go here, I'm in the crowd, and I'm putting my arm down, but you see how high my elbow is? And now my arm is just relaxed, and then I'm gonna flex. Okay, it's a terrible choke to drill. I don't even feel like doing it to him. I like him too much. Because the reason is that it lines, when you put that pressure on that shoulder, it forces your trachea into the hard bone of your wrist, and it's gonna hurt really bad, and very tricky to get out of. The only best thing he can do is try to roll, but there's a lot of ways to counter that as well. So, like Marcelo likes to do, he'll take more gambles with it because he's one of the best grapplers ever lived, is that he'll go here and even he'll let guys double him. So they take him the other way. And it will still work. And like he plays it a lot. I'm not gonna put my wrist through that, but he's tricky like that. But most people, it's not the setup I'm trying to teach you. It's not how you fall back I'm trying to teach you. I'm just trying to teach you how to get the hands right, because that's the one thing I see wrong everywhere I go. So when you lock this, don't try to manhandle it. This arm is tight, this arm is relaxed. Just baby hook, just baby hook. Bring your elbow up. Now, once your elbows come high, drive your elbow down and strengthen your wrist. And it's gonna work. I showed it to him today, and when he did it, my ears like bleed. Like it was so tight, it was an awful experience. All right, so don't manhandle it. Lock and squeeze. Okay, so that's the detail I'm trying to teach you. Everything else is up to you and your coach and how you play it. But focus on that, because that will fix all your problems. I've said it a lot, this one segment. I said, how many times did I say relax? It's up there. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like if you did a shot every time I said it, you'd be wasted. It's not a good experience. All right, so relax, tight. That's one more. So don't screw it up. All right, guys, have fun with the high elbow. Fix that part. I guarantee if you focus on that part and you had problems with the high elbow in the past, it's gonna be blast. It's gonna be so much easier. Okay, and I'll see you on the next Hayabusa video. Subscribe to Hayabusa's channel right now and check out all my Grand Marshal videos. The ones that you don't tune in for, and if you don't subscribe, your training partners are gonna learn it and they're gonna tap you out with it and you're gonna feel like a fool. Do it now, watch them all, have a blast. I'll see you on the next video.